In this video, I want to answer the question, is retail arbitrage dead? I want to talk about why people are asking this question and the answers to those questions. And so, is retail arbitrage dead? Now, retail arbitrage, also called RA, is the process of going to retail stores to buy items at a low price in order to sell them at a higher price on another platform. And in our case, Amazon. Buying stuff from retail stores, selling it on Amazon to make a profit, to make a living, and to be able even to make a life. So I can tell you personally that retail arbitrage is a vital part of our Amazon FBA business. Now we've got, online arbitrage, we've got wholesale, but I can't imagine doing our business without retail arbitrage. And I could tell you, personally, of the experience I've had with retail arbitrage. I can tell you about the carts I've filled up, having to get multiple carts. I can tell you about the stores I've been to. I can tell you about filling up the back of my minivan with inventory to sell on Amazon. And, I can talk all about that. But that's just what I've been able to experience. And even though we found really great success with retail arbitrage, especially during Q4, I can't imagine not taking advantage of retail arbitrage during Q4. Q4 is like the best time for retail arbitrage. But even though that's been my experience, people are still asking if retail arbitrage is dead. And they're usually asking that question for four main reasons. The first reason is increased competition. People are worried about having more competitors. Another reason people are saying is RA dead is because of how many times they have an item in their inventory that just tanks in price and they end up having to break even or take a loss. Or maybe Amazon is just tightening the guidelines and doing brand restrictions and category restrictions, ASIN restrictions, and people are like, I can't find any inventory to sell. And another worry is because of intellectual property or copyright complaints and sellers being worried about that and sellers worried about being suspended on Amazon because of those complaints. Now, I think it's good to look at these complaints and kind of break them down, and because I think there's a lot of fear out there, and we want to make sure that we're spending our time on something that's actually going to be worthwhile and not something that's going to be taken away from us. And so let's confront these fears and try to bring truth into the situation. Now, they are fears. There's some foundational aspects of it that are important to think about and work through. But a lot of times with any type of fear in our life, we can take things to an extreme and kind of blur the reality of what's going on. And I want to help bring some more focus, some more clarity to this. So let's talk about these four aspects of fear that people have worries about retail arbitrage and its viability in the future. Now, before I do that, I just want to let you know, before I made this video, I did some research. I went to Google and I actually typed in, is RA dead? And is retail arbitrage dead? And I found articles dating back to 2013. And so for years, people have been asking this question. And Amazon is still doing well, and third-party sellers are still selling on Amazon and doing really well and finding success. And so let's break down these four worries and kind of bring some truth into the picture. The first worry we're going to talk about is increased competition. And a lot of people are worried about increased competition because they're like, you know what? I started to sell on Amazon and now I see all these new sellers coming in. There's new sellers in Facebook groups that are talking about and learning. There's new courses coming out. There's new things that people are learning. All these sellers are going to be in my competition, and it's going to be too much, and I'm not going to be able to make any money. Well, let me just think about this. Yes, there are more sellers on Amazon now, but a lot of them aren't sticking. There's a lot of people trying out Amazon. They realize, oh my gosh, this is actually a lot of work. I'm out of here, and they give up. So while a lot of new sellers have come on to sell on Amazon, most of them aren't sticking because they realize it's actually a lot of work. So a lot of the competition that you're seeing is not really that big of a deal. And even if it was a big of a deal, here's something else to think of. Every year, more and more products keep getting added to Amazon. So if there's more competition, there's still more products to go around for everybody. Let me give you a few point of reference numbers. In 2013, the home and kitchen category had 18 million items. 18 million items in 2013. In 2017, that's up to 86 million items. So plenty of stuff to go around. In 2013, the toy category had 1.7 million toys on Amazon. And in 2017, It's up to 6 million toys on Amazon. Over 6 million toys on Amazon as of 2017. And so there might be more sellers selling on Amazon, but guess what? There's more product to go around, and there's really, you got to have the abundance mentality when it comes to selling on Amazon. Okay, so in fact, even back in 2011, when Chris Green wrote his book, Retail Arbitrage, people were complaining, oh, retail arbitrage is now dead. It used to be a secret strategy to sell on Amazon and do this, but now everyone's going to know about it, and it's not going to be profitable anymore. That's not true. It's very profitable, and you can do it. The second thing that people worry about is tanking prices. They're like, I have this item and it's really awesome and high priced and great sales rank, and the price just goes down. And I'm like, you idiots, my competition, they're just like nickel and diming each other down to the bottom, and it's the race to the bottom. Well, the deal with tanking prices is this. Most people who worry about tanking prices are making their buying decision based on that day's sales rank and that day's price. But sales rank changes and updates on Amazon once an hour. Prices change all the time on Amazon. So don't make your decision based only on today's sales rank and today's price. You need to get a bigger picture. That's why I use a free service called Keepa and a free service called Camel. And both of those services show me sales rank history, pricing history, so I can look at a 90-day average or 180-day average and see, hey, this is the sales rank it's been on average for the last 180 days. That's a more consistent sales rank to know. Or, hey, this thing has been priced like this for 180 days or 90 days. I can expect that to continue instead of just, saying, oh, it's January and this item is priced at $80. Well, it's not actually going to sell at $80. The history shows it sells at about $20, but all the cheap items have been sold out because of Christmas and it's January, so the only people who are selling it now are at $80, but it's not actually selling at $80. And you can use Camel and Keepa to learn more about that. In fact, to get some free videos about how to learn about Camel and Keepa, you can go to fulltimefba.com/read Keepa for a free training video on how to understand that, and fulltimefba.com/read Camel to be able to understand the service of Camel. So taking prices, not something to really worry about if you're buying the right inventory, if you're buying better inventory. And again, it's going to take more time, yes, but that's what you're going to need to succeed in the long run is better inventory. All right, third worry a lot of people are worried about is Amazon's gating categories, gating brands, gating even some specific ASINs. And I'm going to speed through this real quick because I did a whole video breaking down how to deal with Amazon restrictions. If you go to fulltimefba.com/restrictions, then I'll walk you through how to get approved for almost every category eventually. It's not a foolproof thing, and it doesn't happen with everyone, but it increases your chance of getting approved to sell certain items on Amazon. And the summary of that is this. If you're ever out sourcing an item and you're restricted for that item, it's not a dead end. You can apply right there on your phone, or you can apply while you're doing online arbitrage on your laptop. Apply to sell that item. And depending on your metrics and how long you've been selling, your seller metrics, your feedback metrics, you might get instantly approved to sell that item, brand, or even category. And you need to follow through with that. And if you're not approved, wait 6 months and apply again. And the doors will begin to slowly open for you to be able to sell more items on Amazon. But again, for the full video, fulltimefba.com/restrictions. So finally, the last worry that a lot of people have that are making them think that RA is dead is worries about intellectual property, also known as IP, or copyright infringement notices. They get this email from someone who looks like a brand owner saying you're not allowed to sell this item. It's an intellectual property violation or a copyright infringement or a counterfeit claim, all those type of things, and it scares us. Now, I would say about half the time it's a competitor seller who is coming up with this, trying to get rid of their competition. Now, the other half of the time, it will be a brand who's reaching out to you. So there's two ways to respond. First, you want to respond as if it's a real thing. So you respond by saying, I'm really sorry, I didn't know this was not allowed to be sold. It's not restricted for me to sell on Amazon, so you might want to contact Amazon and restrict this product. I've reached out to Amazon myself to be able to get some more clarity on this situation to see about my approval. And if I'm not allowed to sell this right now, is there any way I could open up a wholesale account with you to be able to sell this item legitimately? And so you're opening up so many opportunities and doors moving forward and options for what goes on. If you end up having that message ignored, then then you know that most likely it's just a competitor. Now, not only are you going to reply to that message with the asking approval and apologizing, you can also open up a ticket with Seller Central and open up a ticket and say, you just copy and paste their message. Say, I just got this. Is this legitimate? Am I not allowed to sell this? I was approved to sell it, and I'm not gated or branded restricted, so please let me know and give me, you know, some advice. And most of the time they'll say, you're approved to sell this, so you're fine selling it. And if it turns out that it really is a brand that's telling you to stop, at least you have that paper trail because you're going through Seller Central, opening up an email ticket and choose to do it via email, so there's a paper trail that will protect you in the long run if Amazon does end up suspending you or removing that ASIN restriction or removing that selling privilege for that ASIN to be able to just protect yourself in the long run. But if you ever get one of those messages, an IP infringement claim or copyright claim or counterfeit claim, if you just have one of those items in stock, just don't deal with the hassle. Remove it, sell it on eBay or another platform, and be done with it. It's just not that. It's not worth the hassle to deal with it with just one item. Now, if you do have multiples of an item in stock, and you're like, I put a lot of money into this, and I've got 40 in stock, then go through the suggestions that I gave you to be able to sell it in the future. And if you're still just really worried, you can open up a return order, have all the items. If you got 40 in stock, have all 40 sent back to you. It's really affordable to get all the items sent back to you. Then you can work it out, and once you have it worked out, then you can send it back to Amazon, and you're only out maybe a dollar per item when it comes to shipping if you're able to send them all back and then send them back to Amazon to get that whole thing straightened out. And so if you ever do get suspended for selling an item like this, you got your receipts. You're keeping your receipts, right? I certainly hope so. You got your receipts, and you've got wholesale invoices if you're going through wholesale. Now you might be saying, Steven, I got this at a garage sale. I don't have a receipt. Well, if you got it at a garage sale, it's probably just one item, so just remove it and don't worry about it. And if you got, just a lot of times when Amazon restricts or punishes a seller for selling something that's either, counterfeit or a copyright claim or IP infringement, they'll just suspend that ASIN first or just that brand first. They don't usually suspend your entire account for one act. Most account suspensions are because of acts that happen continually and repeatedly, and then they'll suspend your entire account. So there's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of people sharing that retail arbitrage is dead. Retail arbitrage is not dead. It's not a dead end. There are certain things when it comes to retail arbitrage that are speed bumps. There's some maybe road blockages that require temporary waiting, but it's not dead. In fact, it is very lucrative and very much alive. I think retail arbitrage is in its prime. I did not mean that to be a pun with Amazon, but retail arbitrage is in its prime, and we can take full advantage of so many things. Is retail arbitrage harder than it was 2 or 3 years ago? Yes. But it's also easier than it was 2 or 3 years ago. We have better apps. We have better sourcing tools. We have better data and information. We have other apps that tell us how many items are in stock for certain items, like the How Many app. We've got the Scoutify app that tells us so much information and gives us access to Camel and Keepa. And there's just so many things that retail arbitrage is so much better today than it was. It's not dead. It is alive and kicking. If you're really interested in learning more about how to do retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and wholesale, and learn how to really start to kick up your Amazon business, check out fulltimefba.com/jumpstart. I have an entire course focused on how to start a successful Amazon business. And one of the methods that I talk about is retail arbitrage, and I give you all of my best training about retail arbitrage in that course. fulltimefba.com/jumpstart. It's where you're to go to get started on Amazon to fast forward your path to success. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching this. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe and be able to not miss out on any of these videos. You can also hang out with us at the blog. fulltimefba.com is where to go. Be sure you subscribe to that so you don't miss out on any of our weekly newsletters with free tips, tricks, videos, training modules, and awesome stuff like that, all for you for free. So check it out. All right, that's it for today. Thanks so much. Bye. God bless.